What's up, everyone? So today I'm going to introduce you guys to TEIN'S newest upgrade to the EDFC Active Pro controller. So that is still current and available for purchase, but this is just a new unit that has new features. I'm not quite sure at what point, but this might actually replace the EDFC Active Pro, but for now you can still purchase both units. I will share a link to our video where we showed you guys the installation of the EDFC Active Pro right over here. That product and this product will install in the same exact fashion. In fact, they use the same harnesses, so we're lucky in that we just can leave all the harnesses in the Model Y just as we have, and we're just going to be replacing the driver units and just essentially the brains of the system. So a couple of things to note: the EDFC5 retains all of the features of the EDFC Active Pro, but what it does add are some AI functions as well as a jerk reactive function. Now, in an effort to not mess up what those things actually signify, I will read to you guys exactly what that is. Let me get into that. I will first read you an excerpt from TEIN that they emailed me. The new EDFC5 still has all the features of the EDFC Active Pro: independent corner adjustments, G-force-based damping control, and/or speed-based damping control, but now utilizes features such as jerk reactive adjustment, self-calculated damping based on predicted initial G-force. It's essentially what the jerk reactive adjustment is, and AI, which is the controller adaptability based on driving behavior and jerk reactive inputs. But EDFC also uses updated motor driver units that produce a much quieter and smoother operation of the EDFC stepper motors. So now you won't hear it. So in my Model Y with the EDFC Active Pro, those driver units, you could hear it kind of clicking, not clicking, but like moving. So you hear like kind of like a type of thing. It wasn't too loud, but you could definitely hear it. So it'll be interesting to see when we install these new driver units how much quieter it is. The thought is that they have made them very much like an OEM active damping system where you can't really hear the driver motors. All right, so I am going to read to you guys some information from their website in a little bit more detail on these additional features of the EDFC5. Jerk reactive adjustment. By calculating jerk rate from changes in G-force detected, the system predicts how the vehicle will soon move, and hence the adjustment can be made automatically at the very moment when the cornering, acceleration, or deceleration starts. This makes it possible to strike a good balance between sharp handling and comfortable ride. For example, the damping force is adjusted to emphasize on ride comfort when running straight forward, but that would make the vehicle slow to react when the steering is turned. With jerk reactive adjustment, the damping force is adjusted immediately after starting to steer to make it most suitable for the upcoming curve and to provide sharp handling. After that, adjusting the damping force back to comfort-oriented setting can provide smoother ride and handling, absorbing bumpiness while cornering. Damping force is adjusted automatically based on lateral jerk value. The system can be programmed as desired to suppress overshooting while in transition for early convergence, to improve cornering performance, and to provide comfortable ride. Now, to better explain the AI function, AI learning function. The system learns driver's behavior and controls how jerk reactive adjustment is made. Vehicle moves differently under different conditions, from highways, city streets, winding roads to racing tracks. AI works to determine and apply the most suitable adjustment patterns, eliminating sense of discomfort for various driving situations. So there you go, guys. We will get this thing installed in the Y. We'll swap out the driver units. We'll swap out the actual controller. They did actually update the screen itself now, so that'll be interesting to show you guys what the screen is like. So it's a completely different screen. I guess it might be brighter or clearer now. So we'll get that plugged in. We'll share that with you guys. And then once I get some more driving time on it, we'll include that in the video as well in terms of what I noticed the differences may be. So I'm going to go ahead and open this box just to show you what the contents are. And it's very much like the other one. So here you go. Comes in a brown box. Here you go, EDFC5. Got some stuff over there in Japanese and English. All right, so let's open this baby up. All right, so take this out. Okay. So these are the important pieces. You got your harnesses here, got some T-taps here, and you've got another manual, a Bible, like before. This time I promised to get this thing tested out long before I took on the last one. So I did test fit the controller in our 3D printed holder, and fortunately it is the same exact dimensions. So this is going to be cross compatible. I do not need to redesign another holder. You've just got some power supplies, I presume, and then you've got the driver units. So one would be for the front, one would be for the rear. These are essentially the items that I need to replace, just swap out in the Model Y, so we'll do that. We'll show you that real quickly here. The harnesses, they said, are the same. Fortunately, I don't need to run any harnesses or change our existing power supplies. So there you go. Got the true driver unit. And then we've got this controller here. And that should take care of everything. I don't believe we'll need to swap any of these pieces out. This is a digital converter. We might need to swap this out. I believe this will probably connect to this possibly. I believe these two things will pair together, so we'll swap both of those out. These will just be plug and play, swap out the two driver units that we have in the Model Y already. So I'm going to show you guys that. We'll get it in. I'll drive it for a little while, try to get this thing set up, show you guys the setup, and share this video with you guys. So hopefully guys you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you guys are interested in this product or even the EDFC Active Pro or TEIN'S Flex Z's, we'll share those links to our website in the description below. If you haven't checked out our Patreon account, please do so. It's patreon.com/ZevCentric. It's $5 a month. Pretty cheap membership. Please support us, donate to us. We appreciate it. We love you guys. All right, guys, so we're in my Model Y. I'm going to go through some basic operations on the EDFC5. It's a lot to take in, so I suggest getting the manual, reading it. I've tagged some pages. I think the first thing I'm going to start out with is getting you guys in the settings menu. So when you first get this, you guys can select the color of the screen. You can select what your speed is displayed in, like all of those types of things. You know, the speed signal, where that's coming from. That is on page E as in Edward 46 in the TEIN manual, the English side. So that's what I assume the E stands for. All right, so first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit display, and you're going to long hold display. All right, that's going to get you into this menu right here. And then from here, you can turn this dial to choose exactly what you're going to do. All right, and you can look in the manual to see the details of what you want. So for example, if you want to change the color, you short press the dial and you can change the color as such. All right, so we'll go back to white. All right, and then to get out of it, just hit display again. So we're going to go back in. There's a ton of different settings. So, you know, there's the brightness, LCD view, the speed. There's just a ton of different things. If there's an external input, speed signal, the AI is on. You know, there's all of these different settings in here. All right, the volume for the beep, etc., etc. All right, so once you get all of that dialed in, there's going to be several different settings here. You can see there's AI. I do have the GPS module. Now, if you do not grab the speed signal from your vehicle, from like your CAN bus or something like that, then you will want the GPS transceiver. And as you can see right here, you know, this is essentially what it is. I haven't stuck it in. I just kind of shoved it over here for now. But that way you can get the speed signal and all of the speed sensitive data, etc. It will be able to pick up and you can use those functions. Now the EDFC5 does have some special additional features. One is the motors are super quiet. Somehow the drivers made this thing really, really quiet. So the original EDFC active, you could definitely hear the motors adjusting, all the time. It was like, you could just hear it go kind of. Now they're silent. They're like OEM silent, and they're very, very fast. So I'll show you that once I start driving. The EDFC5 has also added in what they call a jerk feature and AI, and I'll read to you what those things are. So now, I'll share with you a link to our video over here, somewhere around here, that will show you exactly how you guys can install the EDFC, the motors to the dampers, coilovers, or whatnot. We'll also share a link to the original EDFC video that I produced, which gives you a little bit more instruction on how to get into the menu and things. In this video, I'm just going to tell you some of the new features, I guess, that this one has. And it's still a bit daunting for me. I still haven't wrapped my head around it completely, but I think this will give you at least a good idea as to what this is doing, and you'll be able to see that when I'm actually driving. You can see how quickly the system responds, because it does act like an adaptive or an active system, and it will really be able to change the damping values from different corners based on the G-forces it's reading when you go into corners and so on. Even yaw, so like braking or accelerating, it will adjust the damping to mitigate some of the pitch in the vehicle. So it's pretty intriguing. I guess what I can show you here is, let me see what I tagged. I did notice, and I just did a preset. I'm not quite sure exactly if it worked or not, but if you go into the jerk mode, and so for example, if you push mode here, and just look at these letters right here. So right here, this is manual. So if I were to, these are my presets, but this is manual. If I hit mode here, that's speed sensitive. This is G sensitive. That's jerk only. All right, so it's working off of my preset values. Now in jerk, it will have its own default values. If you want to modify those values, it references your preset 1 and preset 2 values. So it'll work and adjust based off of those as a baseline. So I did have to go in and actually program in my desired presets so that the jerk mode will read off of this. So this is 10 in the front and 13 in the back. And then this is speed and G sensitive. This is speed and jerk, where it went back to my preset value that I've chosen. This is G and jerk. So now it's doing its own thing. This is speed, G, and jerk, and then AI is already on. So I believe what AI is going to do is it's just going to start looking into your driving behaviors and adjusting according to that. So it's just collecting data, and then it'll modify things accordingly based on your driving style, from what I understand. Again, all of this is going to be in detail in the manual, so I do recommend that you read the manual in depth. This is just to give you a little bit of some basic information on what this thing can do, just to pique your interest. All right, so we're going to go to speed and jerk. All right, and we're going to show you guys what that does, and that's pretty much it, for this video. It's just going to touch upon what this new EDFC5 is capable of doing, and then from there you guys can really tinker and play with this device, because you can adjust the parameters in terms of how much the settings will change based on a certain feedback it gets. For example, it'll make changes every 100th of a G per second, but you can change those parameters too, so that it doesn't adjust damping at that parameter. It can do it at a different one. It can also adjust how many clicks of damping it will change per that parameter. You can change this to be in a 16 increment, or I believe a 16, 20, 16, 32, or 64 increments. So if you really want really fine details, it can do that. The motors themselves can allow for a really
high resolution of adjustment. I think that's a little too much, but you guys can play with it and decide what you guys want. Let me see if I should read you. All right, so I'll read this to you now. I've already kind of mentioned it, but EDFC5 enables automatic adjustment of damping force based on longitudinal G-force, lateral G-force, longitudinal jerk, and lateral jerk detected by the G-sensor built inside the controller unit, as well as on vehicle speed signal input through the signal converter or vehicle speed data measured by the GPS unit, which is optional. What else do we got here? You know, to do your presets, you'll pretty much go into, let's just say you'll go into manual. All right. I can go in here. I can change this. All right. So let's say we want to do a preset. I'm going to change this value to, let's say 5 and 6. All right. Now we can go here. I can choose, let's say preset 3, and then I just hold the dial down for a long press, and it'll program that in. I'm going to go on the softer setting right here, and I'm going to go back to speed and jerk. All right. So that's how you kind of program the presets. Let's see what else I've tagged in the manual to tell you guys about. There are some basic settings too. So there's another menu aside from holding display down. If you were to hold both of these, all 3 of these buttons down and long press, that gets you into this menu. Now this menu is where it'll let you choose your units. So you can short press the dial, and you can change the units for speed from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. Okay, you can get out of there. Then you can control front and rear. Stepping, so if you want to change, like I said, from 16, you want to change this out, you can change this to 32. You can change this to 64. I'm going to keep it at 16. Driving mode. So you can read what all of these things are. Now to get out of this, you can just push mode and it'll get you out. And there you go. We're ready to hit the road. What else am I going to share with you? I don't think there's really much else. You guys can really kind of read the manual and see exactly how you can customize these parameters. It has a lot of capabilities. I even talk about that in some of our prior videos. But as you can see, there's like a huge table here. You'll find other tables in the manual here where it kind of goes into detail what the default parameters are and how much it'll change the damping, etc. What kind of signals it's looking for. So without further ado, let's hit the road. Let's show you guys exactly how this thing is changing in real time with the jerk mode and AI, and hopefully you'll be pretty impressed. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so we're in the Model Y. I've got everything set up here. I've already got it on my preset, but we're in speed, sensitive, G sensitive, and jerk mode. It's all activated. We're on my preset, so the starting value is at 10 front, 13 rear. And we're going to take this chicane home and show you guys exactly how this damping changes. But you could already see it changing right there. So this will adjust based on, we're waiting for the GPS speed signal to come in. It should kick in a minute. There it is. All right, we're locked and loaded. So it's already adjusted. Just remember my initial values are 10 front, 13 rear. This is kind of a comfort setting, I guess you could say. And we're just going to do a quick little drive and show you guys exactly what this does, how rapidly it changes. I cannot hear the motors or the drivers at all. They're like completely silent, just like you would see in an OEM vehicle, like a BMW or, you know, even the new Model 3 Performance like Tim has. Now, I will say that this updated display does require us to change the angle of our mount. So we would have to kind of redesign this mount so that it's more visible in this position. All right, there you go. You can already see it changing. We're going to take this little chicane. You can see it adjusting to the cornering. Every single corner has a different value, and it really helps to keep this vehicle flat. It is really quite impressive. So I can start at a really soft setting, and then as I start getting into corners or accelerating, it will start adjusting the damping and just keep this thing really flat. That is pretty darn cool. So it did take me some time to figure out how to get this thing to work, because I needed to, its default starting values were not good. But once I read the instructions and I got it set up, the preset set up, now it's doing exactly what I wanted to do. So it's still comfy at lower speeds, and then at higher speeds, it is actually stiffening up. So you can see those values changing right there. Let's just say I turn in. Here's a dip. So it did change, it felt the dip, it tried to adjust damping there. And I'm changing lanes. So even on acceleration and deceleration, you can see it adjusting. And I bet you guys can tell from the numbers if I'm turning left or right. So watch, I'm gonna jerk and jerk. I'm gonna move in different directions like this, and you'll see the damping change. So we're in a corner right now, slight turn. And turn more sharply, you'll see the damping start to change. And we're gonna go into a brake zone, braking, turning, and now we go back to our preset. See, right there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Definitely is neat. Yep, I really do like this one. This is definitely leaps and bounds above the other system I had. This thing is really neat. It's very intuitive, and it makes a huge difference for me. The biggest issue I had with these specific dampers is that I'd set them soft on the street, but then on the highway they wouldn't be stiff enough. They would you know, be too soft, engage the bump stops prematurely. But now it firms up, it keeps the vehicle flat when I turn. I mean, it's really impressive. And there you go, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in this product, we'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to hit that notifications bell so you guys are notified of all of our future videos. And don't forget to check out our Patreon account, patreon.com/ZevCentric. It's $5 a month. It's a really low membership. It helps support us and continue making these videos. But thanks again, guys. EDFC5, it works. All kinds of cool functions. I showed you guys all of them. Speed, G, jerk, and AI. And there you go. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching.